I was working on a video all day, which I haven't done in a long time. Like I edited it. I didn't cut much out, but I chapterized it. It's this video that I'm going to put up next week. I was just kind of going through the rough edit just to see what it was. About 30 minutes of me talking about, I think what I remembered was, when I titled it, the first initial title was Drinks That I Drink. Or something like that. I remember it being all about just randomly for half an hour talking about the drinks that I drink. It started with hard water and hard water coffee, and then it got to Rita's Cantaloupe Italian Ice and stuff. But I realized in the middle of it, there's like 6 other discursions. And I don't know. I was going through it, and the idea came to me that I'll just treat this like a concept album. And those are like songs, the different excursions. And I'll just put chapters in the video with that name. So the first one's about my leaking bathtub faucet. And the second one's about this, and the third one's about that. And I put little timestamps. And added little quips and little written things to emphasize or for clarity or for humor or whatever at times. And I did that for like 2 or 3 hours today, unplanned. And I got this idea for this is what I can do to make these videos more watchable and more fun for me anyways. Treat each like at least long meandering ramble. Not all my videos are like that. But the long ones, it's like I can just go through and add chapters. And by chapters, I can just make it seem rather like song titles. But it's talking, it's not song. But it's not like a comedy album. It's not comedy. I mean, it's not like jokes. It's more like a speech album with a bunch of speeches that I just keep talking about. Just nonsense for 30 minutes. 7 songs on this one, though. 7 excursions I went on, with some subtle interludes, even more than 7. But yeah, so that was fun, and I'm gonna look to do that for the next big one, which this was the first half hour of a 90-minute video that I made yesterday or the day before. That I'm going through it, and the last hour of it is actually a second video that is the wisdom one, where I actually talk about life wisdoms for an hour. I'm in the bathroom the whole time. I'm just sitting in the bathroom talking. I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm already there. I'm not leaving a bathroom. I already left it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a nice echo. I don't know. Think of it like that. Like this is like a record, like a concept album. Like 2112 by Rush, or, those longer, but it's not singing and music. It's just Deckard talking, like he does. But you could skip to different chapters, and I've got a little, I don't know. I just treat it with its own respect. Like it's an album. I've got the album cover art. I've got the liner notes. I've got all of it. I already do all that stuff. But to treat it now like a concept album instead of nothing. I feel good about that. So I think each video is going to be a little bit more of a tighter production. At least these stream of consciousness ones. I got this one labeled as a drunken Deckard, which I'm probably just going to leave it. Even though it's 30 minutes, it's kind of a streams from my consciousness more like, but yeah, I already made the album cover for it. And I mean, it's not exotic or nothing, but it's what I'm going to use. And then moving forward, it could be an advanced math wisdom sermons, or it could be a streams from my consciousness. Yeah, whatever. I'll just create album art for each video like it's an album. each of the longer ones and chapterize them and, you know, add different little things here and there. Maybe make them a little bit more of an artistic endeavor rather than just a raw bones, you could say, but, you know, lazy endeavor. This one will have a little bit more for the people who might appreciate it, like myself. And it helps me deepen my conceptualization of the art project now. I can make a lot of concept art, concept albums, because I do that anyway, but I haven't really been thinking in those terms. And now if I think in those terms, it might help tighten up the, I don't know. I think it's going to help improve the art project. So that's exciting. And that's what I did today. And the weather, it's clearing out, but it's also getting humidity up. The temperature's going to go down. The wind's picking up though. So I like that part of the hike. I just thought I would get out of the house. You know, what is it, August 8th or something today? I think it's 8th. 7th maybe, it's Thursday. Oh, yeah. I like to get out in the sunlight. So I'm just gonna do a little mini. I think it's like a third of a circuit maybe. I would say that about that. It's not quite half. It's more than half of a half though. So it's like a third. I think that's how you figure it out. Yeah. Not really sweating that much. A little bit. I don't really have much else to say. I was just saying that. I just wanted to, I don't know, I just felt I wanted to record that. Anyway, I'm still going to probably make other videos. It's for the videos that are shorter or something that I just, like there's just not enough else in the ramble. And I just extract the shorter part, like the best part, the nugget, the oyster, right? But for ones where there's like just a lot of, I don't know, it's just continued, like there's a bunch of like, nothing could stand on its own really, but it's more integrated than like just I don't know. So I'm not going to create a new playlist, I don't think. I'm going to just try to incorporate, I've got enough playlists. But I like the idea of doing a different album cover for each video. I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. Because some of my streams, which most of this stuff is going to apply to the streams from my consciousness, which that's like the Bearish Bones template album cover. They all look the same with just a small change in it, so that might change up. I'm not sure. Like the next video is a Advanced Mass Sermons video. It's not a Drunkard and Deckard, even though it's the last 2/3 of this video that I just talked about editing down. The one about drinks, the drinks that I drink. I haven't gone through. I went through about half of it, but I don't remember. So I'm going to go through the whole thing and see what this hour is. It's about literally an hour. That one's an Advanced Mass Sermon. I've already made the album cover for that. And I had different styles for Advanced Mass Sermons that I just left when I picked the one that I used. And all my Advanced Mass Sermon videos use the same basic template. I just changed the title and maybe some minor graphics, but I had some other drafts. And what I did is I took one of these old drafts that I never used and I repurposed it for this particular Advanced Mass Sermon. the one that I have yet to go back through. The other half, the other 2/3 of the drinks that I drink video that I'm just talking about, that I think has more wisdoms in it. So that's why I moved it to an advanced. And certainly it could be a streams from my consciousness, but I've already created, and I took a different template and I made that work. It's not extravagant, but like, it's different. It says the same thing in the same place, but it's got a different color. It's got the same picture of me a little bit differently filterized. But, so I like that. For streams from my consciousness, though, that's an even simpler one. So I'm gonna have to think about that. If another one of these videos wants to come up and be concept albumed, but it's more of a streams from my consciousness than a drunken Deckard or a rando, right, or a advanced math sermon. And I want to change up and provide a unique, but it still needs to relate to that streams from my consciousness playlist cover art. So that'll be a challenge for me. That might be fun though. Anyway, I'm just talking out loud, which I like to do. Yeah, so that's pretty. It's pretty bougainville. What is that? Like what are those puffy flowers? It's not a rhododendron. Azalea. Just like greenish yellow azaleas. Big, fresh bush. Looks good. Yeah. I haven't thought about my videos in any kind of a way like this in months and months. So that's nice. It just happened. I give credit to my new crystals for my inspirations and support along that. How that inspiration just kind of opened up like a lotus flower on my desk, on the desk of my mind. Like I wasn't even trying to even think. I was just listening to it to see, yeah, I like this. I wasn't even trying to figure out anything about it. It just occurred to me. Boom, boom, boom. And I wrote a whole little thing about it, and I went ahead and did it and made 7 different tracks. And now my enthusiasm, which never really flagged or anything for my YouTube videos, but it's been revivified in a different, yeah, because this is easy. It was so easy to do that for 3 hours. You know, I try to put things in the right place from a timing standpoint, you know, like it would be better if I waited for this to do, I don't know. There was some artful intent executed. You know, how successful it was done. It's for you to decide. But it's cool. I like what it does is, like I said, it's like the little, it's like the little synopsis of a style of video that I do. It's the concept album, where I just put chapters for the different excursions that I drift off to in my inevitable 45-minute rambles, right? Now I can make them seem like they're a little more, like there's something more there. I don't know, it's fun. It's fun for me. Now I can, like I said, maybe you can kind of just subconsciously focus these videos a little bit more now that in the back of my head, I'm thinking concept album. So maybe it just kind of helps keep me a little bit more on track so things don't go so off the rails that it's like, I got to scrap this whole thing, you know? Because it's like, it's too chaotic or jumble-filled or whatever. Jumble-filled. Full of jumbles. Jumble-full. You know, just a mishmash of nonsense. Which it mostly is, but like, you know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. So it'll help. It'll help with that. I like that. I like to find little easy, like I found like a little bit of an art hack. It's a way to conceptualize just one part of my videos that I might do now as little concept albums. Yeah, I like that. like I said, I haven't had a channel inspiration. Well, that's not 100% true, because that whole Whirly Road trio that I did with 2 videos back to back and my only short video, that was kind of out of the blue a couple weeks ago. That was the first one that was kind of out of the blue, though. Maybe not. But this one is another one like that. Different in function, but similar in creative openness. Hi. So, maybe there'll be more to come, which I'm always welcome for inspiration. I mean, that's one of the things I love most of my experiences that I could love. I love the inspirational ones or inspired ones. Both. But ones where I feel inspiration, I like those the best. You know, just personal inspiration. I don't mean like watching like some athlete do something above and beyond. That's whatever. That's fine. Those are nice. I mean, personally inspired. You know, a lot of times when I hear good house music, I always feel inspired. That's what I mean. Or get an idea out of the blue for something that puts a smile on my face kind of feeling. You know, it feels like it makes you kind of happy. I don't know, it's mysterious the way inspiration works. So I like those a lot. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna come up to first granddaddy today, and so I gotta get prepared for that. So I'm gonna stop this video. I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, that's of course never true, but like it doesn't feel like there's an urge to keep this thing recording. Some let it go. What if when you recorded it was like talking in like a walkie-talkie and you had to press it down the whole time? And then if you just left your thumb off, it would just stop? That would be cool. I would probably have my thumb down like the whole time now. Nobody could ever else talk on the walkie-talkie. Because Deckard he doesn't take his thumb off. Not because I don't know, because I just got so much to say. Weird. Nothing important to say. I just like to say a lot. I'm just a sayer. I try to be a soothsayer, but I'm a sayer regardless. I'm not a liar sayer. I'm not a sayer of lies. Not intentional. I could be an accidental sayer of misinformation, which I try to be on guard about. Yeah, this hill started. But I would like to be considered a soothsayer. All I could say was sooth, but it's got to be stuff that I say, though. I'm not trying to pursue sooth. I'm trying to pursue self-expression. And so sometimes unsoothful things probably come out these lips, you know? And that's not out of a deceit or even a showmanship, theatrics. It's just what flows out. The beginning of this hill's a bit of a... I'm gonna stop and catch my breath over here before I start the official granddaddy, which is this long road. I'm gonna try not to dox myself. Okay. I like this little pre-hill jaunt. It's a minor hill, but look how tall the tree branches are. And it's just like shady and quiet. I used to live on this road with my parents back that way. 18 years ago, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I moved down. But like 25 years ago also. In between was London and Arizona and North Hollywood. But whatever. That would be an interlude. We just had an interlude about my street. Not a full excursion. That's the way I would do that. An excursion, like a track, it's got to be like at least 3 minutes. 3 to, I don't know, however long, 7, 8 minutes where I just kind of stay on topic. And then I move off to a new topic. That's what this one turned out to be. With very little double back. And mostly kind of complete, like, I don't know. It was a very handy video for what I turned it into. Which is probably why it happened. Because it just kind of fell into place like that. I mean, once I got the concept, I had to work it to get the last tracks in. As far as like, find the right spot for this name. Is this excursion officially started yet? Or is, you know, like that kind of stuff. Which I had fun doing. But yeah. I'm a sayer. I'm a talker. I try to say sooths. I try to say my sooth, at least. So you could say that. But I might misrepresent some things. I try to be clear about that. You should take what I say with a grain of salt and in vain. Take what I say in vain. Not on trust. Like, you could trust the spirit, but you maybe couldn't trust all the facts. So make sure you're aware of what you're trusting. Again, I'm not saying you couldn't trust the facts. A lot of my facts are pretty bulletproof, I think, maybe. But some of them might totally not be. But my spirit of engagement with you and sharing my curiosities and wonder what life is always pure. I'm not trying to pull one over on you. That's too much work for me. I couldn't even be bothered. Plus, I don't like those deceitful energies. Even if they're just prankful. Nah, that's not my style. So you can trust that part. But as far as like the truthful facts, see, I try to not dox myself. I'll take that out in the edit. Yeah. You can take them in vain and do your own homework. You know, for some of the dubious facts. That may be dubious, but not duplicitous. There's a difference. So, yeah. Interludes versus excursions. Versus just heavy breathing. This is just a heavy breathing break, okay? Just give me a minute. I mean, if I had something to say, I would just keep saying it. But I can't think of, I'm not trying to think of what to say. Like I said, I'm just going to probably end this video and decide where to go next when I get to the top of the hill. Which I'm like halfway up. So I'm going to be here for a minute. Excuse me. That was uncalled for. That's what happens when you get to your Gen X years. Your body starts to do old man things at you. Whatever. All right.